Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, beautiful people of the world. It's me, Lainey. I hope you're all having a fantasmical day today. Hi, how are you? What's going on? And what's crack-a-malakin? Crack-a-malakin? Anyway, whatever. Anyway, hi. Here we are with another one of my original character deep dives. I did one of these 2 weeks ago with my original character, Candy. That was a mess. I was delusional for most of that, and I don't remember a single thing that I said. But you know what? I'm sure it's fine. Today we're talking about a different one of my original characters. I'm hoping to do one of these every 2 weeks, but you know, we'll see what happens. So today we have my original character, Lavender. Her name is Lavender Wolfenden, Candy's older sister by 2 years, because, I don't know, that's how it works in this world, I guess. Sisters, siblings, good times. Unlike Candy, Lavender's just a regular sort of person. She takes a lot more after her grandmother, who is a witch, or great-grandmother. Her grandmother's also a witch, but she's kind of, a war criminal. But that's irrelevant, I feel. If you want to hear about her, then that's a big story for another day. But today we're talking about Lavi. Her name is Lavender, but I'm going to call her Lavi because I'm weird and I like to call my original characters by nicknames. So let's do a little bit of a history on how this character came into existence, fruition, if you will. I don't know if you will, but I will, so here we are. So, back in the times of ye old, 2016. ye old 2016. It was more like 2015-ish. 2015, and I started creating original characters for the first time. Obviously, I created Candy and Roxy, who I mentioned last week. Maybe I need to do a video on Roxy eventually. We're talking about Lavi right now, irrelevant. But, it was a couple of months after I decided that they were original characters, and I was having a lot of fun drawing them, and I'm like, I want more original characters. And one thing that I love is I love a theme. I love a theme and an idea. So, a lot of my original characters are based off of me working on some kind of overarching sort of theme. And Lavender was part of the first one of these, which is a character where each one is based off of a color in the rainbow. So there's red, which was originally Candy, but then red ended up being turned into another character named Chains, because I was edgy like that. I was just an edgy kid, don't worry about it. So there's a red one, Chains, orange, who was Blaze, and they're still called Blaze, a yellow one named Sunny, she's still called Sunny, and what's after yellow, green, who was based off of a drawing that one of my friends in primary school gave to me, and her name is Dolly, still is Dolly. The only one whose name has really changed is Chance. She's now Christina, and she is now Lavender and Candy's mother. And Blaze and Sunny are now their aunties, Christina's younger siblings. So I just thought, red, orange, and yellow just go so well together. Blue is a giant, I don't know, Frankenstein-like doll. Her name's Buttons. She's something, she is. Purple ended up being Lavender, and pink is Flosser, who ended up being their great-grandmother, who is some kind of ancient mythical witch, who I'm sure I mentioned last week, because Flosser, with like these characters in particular, she's just kind of like involved with everybody, but involved with nobody at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, she's always there when like shit's going down, but if you ever try to find her, you'll never find her. Like, she doesn't exist, but she's like Nanny McPhee. Sorry. She's like Nanny McPhee. When you want her, then you cannot find her, but when you do not want her, she appears. She's here when you need her. I don't remember exactly. It's been so long since I've seen Nanny McPhee. Do you remember Nanny McPhee? I think I watched the second. Irrelevant. Talking about Lavi. I really want to stay on topic because I enjoy talking about my original characters, but I get off track so quickly. It's not even funny. But yeah, so Lavender's always been a quiet girl, always. You know, she's very happy living a very simple life. She doesn't like extravagance and opulence and big things like that. You know, she's just a cottagecore queen. Even when she was small, she enjoyed just like baking and gardening and just little things like that. She just enjoyed simple times. But there was some level of expectation of her to want to live a more kind of extravagant life because of the family that she comes from. They're not a particularly well liked family, but they are a influential family nonetheless. But things happened. The mansion burned down. I'm not sure if I actually covered that last time. I don't know if I said explicitly that the mansion burned down, but the mansion where they lived burnt down, and they ended up moving. Lavender and her mother ended up moving to a small cottage out in the middle of nowhere. Well, not out in the middle of nowhere. It's old family home that belongs to Flosser, and it is not in the middle, but it is close to the border of the big Enchanted Forest that is alive. And I don't know, I feel like I could talk about the Enchanted Forest for a while. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. So, back in times of ye old in my original character world, which is called Amentia. I don't think I ever mentioned that. There's a lot of things that I don't mention. And I feel like every time I need to reiterate it because I don't remember what I've said and I'm not going to remember what I've said. And also, not everybody's going to want to watch every one of these videos because no one cares, but I care. And I need to look back on these and remember information that I've said. Because, what if I forget about Lavi, alright? I can't. She's adorable. I love her so much. But anyway, the big Enchanted Forest, it is alive. It is living. It is a thing. Basically, back in times of ye old, when there wasn't actually a forest, there was just a big open sort of wasteland. There was kind of a forest, but not really. It was mostly a wasteland. But there was an evil wizard, if you will, and he just, just would commit all of these crimes, and they needed to put him away somewhere because he couldn't just go to a regular prison because he's magic. So a bunch of the best magicians, they weren't him because he was the best, but when you get every other magician that's the best, it kind of overpowers it, and they ended up, most of them ended up sacrificing their life to create this sort of giant pit that looked like a giant tree stump, and you basically just throw wizards in there and they just kind of exist in some kind of weird limbo where magic doesn't really exist. But yeah, so weird limbo, magic doesn't exist, and eventually they wither away, and it's not ideal if that's the case, but they don't want it to be like a death thing in case because there were incidents in the past of people accusing people of doing evil things, and it turned out that they were not, and they didn't want people to already be gone before they realized their mistakes, so they gave him in there to give him some time, but it is not a pleasant place to be. Over time, with just the amount of magical energy that the hole was taking in, it ended up becoming a giant tree, and its little magical roots started spreading all over, and those ended up coming into trees, and it ended up creating this dense forest that is very much alive, and it can sense intention of any single person who walks into it. It doesn't have the same hostility towards most other creatures. Like, they're not going to kill a centaur, because that's where the centaurs live. Back in times, I gotta stop saying back in ye old times, but there was a time in history where humans, as humans do, decided everything that is human-like, that isn't a human, is wrong, and we don't like that. Creatures like centaurs and fairies and ogres and giants all ended up moving to the Enchanted Forest, and they've got kind of their own like laws and civilization in there that's completely separate from any of the four main kingdoms. And then, there's a bunch of other lore that we're not getting into because today's about Lavender, and I got distracted talking about a forest, but she lives in the forest because she's just a good person, and she just wants to live a quiet life. People have always treated her a certain way because of her family. You might remember I mentioned her grandmother, who is a war criminal. People don't appreciate their family because of them. Her grandmother and her grandfather, who is mysterious man he is. But it is what it is. So Lavender lives in the cottage. Her mother ended up moving out of the cottage and starting up an orphanage nearby. Still technically inside the forest to like protect the kids from bad people, because bad people are everywhere. And I could make this world a world that doesn't have bad people, but that's simply boring. Where's the drama? I watch too many soap operas. It's I need drama in my life. But yeah, anyway. So Lavender has been living alone for a while. She often goes and helps at the orphanage. She likes baking cookies and helps take care of the kids. I think there's 12 kids canonically. I only ever draw 4 of them. One day I'll have to figure out designs for all of them. So there are not enough like children characters in this world. There just isn't. I just, there are some, but they usually go more up into the teens, early 20s, even like early 30s, and then there's big drop-offs when it gets to older characters and younger characters, and it's like, but I feel like there should be more in the middle, you know what I mean? Anyway, I need more age diversity. Irrelevant. Anyway. So yeah, she lives there, she's all cute, she's living her best life, it's good times. Doing the farming and baking and gardening that I mentioned earlier that she liked to do. She's got a couple of animals that she takes care of as well. She's friends with this one centaur named Tilda, and she's a young centaur, and she's kind of jaded by how nice Lavender is, so she wants to go out and meet people, but it's very against the centaurs, because centaurs kind of hate humans. Also does most of the magical creatures inside the forest, to be honest, but most people tolerate Lavender because she's a good person who actually, she takes care of herself, and she doesn't bother anybody, and she's nice, and she even helps take care of them when she needs to, because she is a magic person. Now, I have not fully explained the magic rules yet, and today's not the day, but just know that there are 10 different kinds of magic, and yes, they are element-ish based. They're element-named, they're element-based, but you do not get to choose what element you have. You're not born with it. Either you're born with magic if you are a demon, but if you're not a demon, then you have to go through a ceremony. Lavender's is lightning magic, which is the most, I guess, abstract of all of them, because, not not lightning, thunder. Thunder. Lightning is more direct. Thunder is more abstract, because it's just like, what does that mean? They just more needed a title for it. But thunder magic is typically has a lot to do with like healing. That's basically it. She helps heal. She's also a witch, which, you know, most people can use magic, but not everyone that uses magic is a witch. In this world, if you're a witch, that means that you simply, you know, you make potions, you make things using nature and the world around you to create things. Like potions. Potions are great. And the potions, everything are imbued with the kind of magic that you have. So you can have any kind of magic and still be a practicing witch, which, you know, that's fun. I think that's fun. I think it's a fun little thing. None of my ideas, I know I said this last time, but none of my ideas I'm claiming are entirely original. It's just things that I think would be cool, all kind of mixed together. So, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, what else? Well, I guess she does have like kind of a love story that I have neglected to mention. I don't remember what kind of story it is, but because of her nature, people who enter the forest usually get injured, and if the forest really doesn't want them to get hurt, they always somehow end up at Lavender's cottage, and Lavender will take care of anyone that shows up at her doorstep. But because the forest is how the forest is, she trusts that they're good people. Because, like, you know, the forest accepts them. Very, very few times has the forest ever been wrong. And, you know, Lavender's made a lot of friends. And one of them she met when she was... how old would she have been? Hold on, let me try to remember the timeline. I guess she would be 16 and he would be 14. He's a whole story. His name is Zane. He's great. Love him. He's a tall, lanky boy. He does broaden out a lot when he gets older, especially once he starts working on the farm. There's a lot of little work things that Lavender is just, you know, she's not a strong person and she doesn't do them, and she'll usually ask Tilda for help, but, you know, she starts asking Zane when they get together in the future. But yeah, so they meet when they are 14 and he's pretty badly injured, and I don't know. I don't want to say that he falls in love with her at first sight, but they spend a lot of time together in the cottage, and when he starts feeling a little bit better, he starts helping around, and he finds that he actually enjoys this more simple life. And, you know, and Lavender's just a fun person to hang around, which Lavender is kind of shocked to hear, because most people just say that she's just a nice person, not that she's fun, but I don't know, he seems to have fun, and, you know, that's nice. Sorry, I don't know how to talk about romance. Can you tell? I love them so much, and I just think they're super cute. What can I say? But yeah, he falls for her pretty quickly, but, you know, he's got his own life that is a big secret to her. She doesn't want to pry. I mean, she does want to pry. She wants to pry really bad. But she's just, I don't know. I think she's just scared of what she might hear. So she never really asks. Unless he brings up things first. Like about his family. They have a lot of arguments and stuff when it turns out that he isn't exactly who he says he is, and she kind of tells him to go away and leave her alone. And, you know, he does, and she regrets that pretty quickly, but she can't go to him, and you know what, I'm gonna leave the suspense on what happens and how they get together for another time, because you know what, none of your business. Stay out of their love story. I'm kidding. I'm tired. It's actually pretty late. I just know that if I didn't record the voiceover when I'm recording it, that it will never get done. But it is late, and I'm starting to get to that delirious point that I was at last time, where I'm just going on and going on and on and on. But let me ask a couple of questions of the day. So the first question I have is, what is something that you would assume of Lavender, her personality and her habits, etc.? I think I asked the same question last time, and I think I want to keep asking this question because, you know, I just think it'd be fun to know what you think about them, you know, like that YouTube trend. You know, what assumptions do you have about Lavender? I always thought Lavender would be a picky eater. I don't know why. I just always felt like she would be. Yeah, maybe she's vegan? No, vegetarian. Vegetarian, definitely. I don't know why I think that she'd be a vegetarian. It just feels right, you know? I don't know why I'm assuming these things. I can literally make them canon, but, you know, sometimes I don't think too deeply about some of these things, and it's just like, you know what? I think maybe that could be the case. And, you know what? Maybe some of the things you say and you assume will become canon. You know, now in my brain, Lavender's vegan. See what we've done here today, folks? We've edited a part of this character's personality. Vegetarian. She's vegetarian, not vegan. Because, I don't know, I just imagine that she also really likes chocolate and cheese and things that are milky. And I know she has a cow, because I've written that down somewhere. Somewhere it says that she has a cow. And I would feel bad for the cow if she didn't utilize the cow. And I'm sure the cow would also feel bad. Let's see. What's a question? Forget the question. Let me talk a little bit about the drawing, because I haven't spoken a single thing. So this one is just a bunch of fairly quick sketches that I did. You might notice that the original part where I was just like going through and drawing a bunch of poses, that's all in real time, but this section here where I'm just coloring up the little sketches is sped up a little bit. But yeah, I just colored in the three that I liked the most. The one where she's holding the big pot because she is a witch. The one where she is doing some gardening. I don't know what gardening looks like, but it was just a cute pose. And the other one where she's just like spinning around because I just thought it would be cute. Also, I tried to give her a different outfit in every single drawing because it's one of those things that you just don't do with your original characters. You don't just give them like a bunch of different outfits, but obviously they're not going to wear the same outfit every single day, you know? It is what it is. Yeah, also let me know if you would rather me talk like more broadly about my original characters, or if I should go more specific, because I've kind of done a bit more of the broad spectrum and a bit more of the specific of this character. I don't know, I like talking more like broadly. Maybe I could do a video on like the process and like how all of my original characters came to be. That could be a fun. Actually, I might write that down somewhere after I finish this. I'm going to do my outro real quick if I can remember it, because I never remember it. All right, hold on. Let me psych myself up. All right, thank you. I did not psych myself up. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to do the YouTube things like, comment, subscribe. You know what they are. Links as always will be in the description down below, so please go and check them out. I would really greatly appreciate it. I can't speak. I hope you're all having a fantastic Tuesday wherever you are in the world, and if it's not Tuesday when you're watching this, I hope you have a fantastic rest of the day, and I'll see you all hopefully next week. Hopefully I can stay on this consistency streak, because it's a rare thing that's happening right now, and I'm actually having a lot of fun, and I can't wait to look back on this video in 2 years' time and be like, oh my god, what's wrong with her? Like I have with some of my other videos. Man, we're coming up to my anniversary soon on YouTube, and that's scary. Alright, goodbye.